A little teardrop in the ocean makes it home for predator and prey, insects and giants, history to culture, and ancient civilizations to modern architecture. It's a country so rich in its history that it has baffled the minds of many. A tea plucker nibs a pickle from a fresh spring. This could be the cup of tea which you might enjoy amidst the luxuries of the day. The highlands are a great escape to take you to a place where silence opens its ears to nature. And nature responds with her refreshing sounds of a subtle wind blow as a choir of rustling leaves plays a crescendo for the mighty waters to fall and fall gracefully. The hotels and resorts in the highlands is placed in a way where travelers can indulge themselves in the landscape. Each property has its own backyard to feast your eyes on. Properties that are placed in the midst of tea factories to places that hug the mountain range, or just a game of golf to pass time. The choice is entirely yours. The mighty waters transform itself into a raging force, pumping adrenaline into the adventure seekers as they experience nature in its purest form. Connecting to nature is an instinct. Living with nature is something we need to experience. Like a calm after a storm, the waters settle down and gracefully glides downhill, feeding its banks, making them rich and lush. Even the mightiest predators calm itself down as it takes a sip of a journey of nourishment. The wildlife in Sri Lanka is one of the most dense settings in the world, spanning from exotic birds to herds of majestic giants roaming the jungle of this magnificent island. Nothing brings you closer to the jungle than hearing a leopard roar, an elephant trumpet, or the singing of the birds while watching peacocks flare its feathers while gracefully making its way into the jungles. As the sun sets, so do some neighbors. It's a new day of heritage. Over 2,500 years, ruins of ancient cities and kingdoms are still to be seen. Amidst all these, one stands out, a giant boulder which holds key to one of the 8 wonders of the ancient world. Sigiriya has marveled and intrigued many generations of travelers, archaeologists, and historians to date. This is where you're entitled to a royal treat. The hotels and accommodation in this setting spoils you with luxury, giving you a glimpse of what it would have been in the ancient days. Sri Lanka also boasts about the Ayurvedic ancestry. Still, being practiced as it regenerates and revitalizes you, mind, body, and soul. The diversified culture of this land speaks in abundance when we move to the north of the country, where the hospitality and the unique cuisines speak for itself. From the largest mammals that wade the blue, to the smallest ones that bring color to the reef, to the ones that makes you smile with their playful vibes, the oceans of Sri Lanka holds lush playgrounds to our marine life. The resorts on the coast have their own flavor. Each with its own vibe and unique personality, offering the best in luxury and cuisine. Whether it be playing a game of golf, riding the wind, surfing the waves, sleeping on the sands, or bathing in the sun, the beaches give you nothing but extreme relaxation. As the waters which fell from the mountains makes its final pass through the beaches and connects this little island to the rest of the world. Colombo, a modern city in the making. As the capital of Sri Lanka, Colombo holds home to a platter of international brands and a number of high-class homestays. This active business hub will not only pamper you in comfort, but also give you a diversified experience ranging from colonial heritage to modern-day architecture. From high-end restaurants to simple street food outlets, Colombo has it all. In the midst of all the hustle and bustle, Colombo hasn't forgotten its spiritual connection to the land. Whether it be Buddhist, Catholic, Islam, Hindus, in the city and in the country, we all coexist together as one Sri Lanka. Whether it be losing yourself in the hills, bathing in the sun, getting lost in the thick jungle, or stay closer to the wild, the diversity in the accommodation sector of this little country would make you feel relaxed and in tune to the land. The ancients called it Lanka. The Greeks called it Taprobane. The Arabs and the Persians called it Serendib. The British called it Ceylon. Some historians called it the Garden of Eden, and some called it the Promised Land. Whatever, whoever called it, we call it home. The island of culture, heritage, mystery, and warm hearts.